smoking Dank Sinatra, that's all gas. On the hunt in the tall grass. Intercepting every ball pass, then I run it back, that's a TD. Check the scoreboard, y'all last. We up one, you see me. Pussy niggas wanna talk about it, go to Hellcat, no demon. I be politicking on your broadcast at the red carpet like the famous homie. Ask your bitch, really famous homie, and you know it's in me. It ain't on me. So creative like I made Adobe. I've been balling like I play with Kobe.
What's the deal? What's the deal? PolitiKan the podcast. We back again Wednesday nights, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Let's get to these topics, man. First topic, NBA free agency starts tomorrow. Who will make the biggest splash? Kyrie Irving, is he on the move again? Draymond Green, is he going back to the Warriors? Or will he leave? James Harden has to opt out. Will he opt out or will he opt in? What's his future? Let's get to Dame, man. So Dame Dollar is still in Portland. Should Dame force a trade out of Portland to a contender and try to get him a championship, or should he stay put and trust the process over there in Portland? Every year, the NFL chooses a hard knocks team to cover over the preseason. We got a lot of great storylines. Who do you think should get hard knocks? The leading candidate right now is the New York Jets as they acquired Aaron Rodgers. Casanova 2 times. He was taken to jail in the RICO case with the Blackstone Gorillas in New York after he blew trial, man. So it looks like he got sentenced to 15 years in federal prison. And the GOP pushes through the House articles of impeachment for Joe Biden. So now they're attempting to impeach Joe Biden. This shit is wild. Well, let's bring in a co-host, man. We got the famous homie, Ken Chronicles, and the mayor, man. What's the deal?
What's up, fellas?
Man,
Long
happy
time.
to be back. Happy to be back, man. So let's get to this first topic, man. NBA free agency. Who do you think is actually going to make the biggest splash and actually make a move that no one is expecting? What's your thoughts on this free agent market?
I'll go first. I'm sorry. I have to go first.
That's all you, Mayor.
Gentlemen, Bradley Beal to Phoenix threw me for a complete loop. I did not see that coming whatsoever. And because of that, I'm lost. I've seen so many like pretend stories. I saw one earlier today that said Austin Reeves and Van Vliet for Paul George. I'm like, nah, that's never going to happen. Never going to happen. I saw Alex Caruso for Van Vliet and for D'Angelo Russell, something crazy like that. I mean, just the most random, I want to say role players, but good players that can go anywhere because the NBA is still kind of wide open. So I don't know what to say. And then let's not forget how much I love playing point guard. So to see CP3 go to Golden State, and that wasn't a free agent move, that was a part of that whole Bradley Beal trade. You guys can talk about whatever you want. I don't even think any of the free agents matter anymore. They're all going to be trade bait. Like they're going to do sign and trades for a lot of these gentlemen, because from James Harden to Kyrie to even Middleton, I mean, they can really fit in any system if they're willing to follow the system. They're almost at the end of their I don't know, their star moment, like prime is over now. Some of these guys just got to give it up.
Mm-hmm. I think it's been one of the more dry free agency periods of the summer times in recent memory. The possibility Kyrie could move, it's a possibility he stay. Obviously, where Kyrie goes, whatever team he lands on, he's going to be a player that's going to make an immediate impact wherever he goes. If he goes to the Lakers, if he stays with Dallas, wherever Kyrie goes or stays, is going to make an impact. So, looking for Kyrie in free agency. As far as who else do we see up there? I mean, it's not a lot of marquee names available in free agency, to be honest. I think maybe signing trades are more of a threat. You know, the Clippers are trying to dump Paul George allegedly. The Lakers are looking to upgrade, of course, because, you know, LeBron James always needs more help. A lot of teams are looking to upgrade via trade. You know, we saw the Chris Paul to the Golden State Warriors, which made no fucking sense. I can't get one hoop head to explain to me where that makes sense. So I don't think that's the last move Golden State is going to
Statistics.
make. I still trust Golden State because they've been the greatest, you know, they have the greatest management of the last 7-8 years, getting players and plugging in players to keep winning championships. So I trust them, but they just got new management, I found out. So I don't know what the fuck they're doing over there. Bradley Beal to the Suns made no sense. Who's going to play point guard? Why do you have Devin Booker and Bradley Beal who does the same thing together on the court at the same time with no point guard? And you got DeAndre Ayton who's just going to be sitting over there running laps because you got 3 scores. Like, what? I don't know what the hell they're doing. This shit is confusing right now. Like the NBA Western Conference is looking really weird right now. The Eastern Conference is looking really strong. With the trade with Marcus Smart and Porzingis over there in Boston, and you know, of course, the Embiid getting ahead with James Harden. At this point, James Harden is not. I don't think he's an impact player anymore. I mean, he still can hoop. He still got skills. He can dribble. He can shoot. But impact, you don't have the same impact that he did in his peak, and the impact at his peak wasn't that good either. So, I don't think unless James Harden is going to be a guy that's going to be a spot-up shooter or a role player, I don't think it's important where he goes. I don't care if he stays in Philly, they're not winning. I don't care if he goes to Golden State, they're not winning. So, you know, that's all I got for the free agents.
What you got, Ken?
In terms of free agency, I think who can make the biggest impact, I would say more – I would have to go with Draymond if he does decide to leave. I mean, just because he's a defensive general, I mean, as we all know, I think that he's a leader in the locker room. I think that he's a leader on the court as well. And I see that he has the ability to take a team that struggles defensively. He can definitely take them over the hump and at least make a team a playoff team. I mean, at the very least. So I think he still has a lot of value rather. But see, here's the thing. I don't think that he's worth $100 million. I don't think he's a $100 million player, other than if he stays within the system where he is. But I still don't think him staying is going to get Golden State over any kind of humps because they're just too small. But I say he would have more of a splash if he was to leave.
So what's the deal, y'all?
What up?
So NBA free agencies, man. We got Draymond. We got Dylan Brooks out there. Nobody talking about Dylan Brooks.
Man,
he's a liability.
He gonna play
the Lakers. Y'all don't want that Dylan Brooks?
No,
they're gonna get
no.
him. Yes, they
No.
do.
No.
Lakers want everybody. Yes, they do.
We do not want Dylan Brooks. We do not want Dylan Brooks.
Lakers want everybody.
No, we're glad we
Lakers
take
want
Draymond
everybody.
Green. We'll take Draymond Green, but we're not paying him $100 million, just like Ken said.
You can't pay him $100
For what?
All right, what you got, y'all?
Going off of what Ronnie was saying, I mean, this is like a boring free agency. Ain't nothing really going on. Ain't no real game changers anymore. I mean, James Harden was a game changer at one point in time, but once everybody caught on to his little 3-step travel, whatever they want to call it, then he fell off. So a lot of teams don't have a lot of cap space. I mean, unless you're going to Houston got a whole bunch of cap space for you, but who are you going to play with? And some teams probably feel that they're only a couple pieces away to getting over the hump. I mean, the Sacramento Kings surprised everybody, right? But
Facts.
I mean,
Wow.
Draymond to the Kings, that would be a good move because everybody knows Sabonis. You can put him at power forward, then you got more defense, and Draymond has the experience. that can make sense. But other than that, this is kind of a boring free agency, unless people are going to make some trades. The Lakers are going to make some trades because y'all don't build, so y'all just trade. So we know the Lakers are going to do that. And then other than that, only thing that matters in free agency is if my boy Derrick Rose goes back to Chicago, because that means he's about to retire, and I'm going to need some courtside tickets to watch my boy do his farewell tour all day, every day, man. Y'all don't know. I'm about to get sponsored by D Rose. Y'all just don't know. But other than that, free agency is boring. Ain't nobody really to talk about. Denver won the whole. Oh, you're here, Mayor. Oh my goodness, I've been waiting for you to come. Let me get this off right quick, Caleb. Oh man, I've been waiting for you to come on here. It's been like weeks, bro. I called a couple weeks ago on this podcast that the Lakers was gonna get swept. And it was just me, Caleb, and Ronnie. And
I watched it. I watched the podcast. I heard what you said.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to let you know my prediction was right.
No, I know. And you remember what I said as well. I had said from I think almost every episode that 17 beats 0. And that when we keep on doing what we do, it only gives Caleb and Clipper Nation less and less relevancy. We got one more season before they're up out of our house. So I'll get swept in the Western Conference Finals.
All right, man.
We weren't supposed to be there.
Let me get this closing remark. So I think that the NBA free agency is dead, and it's going to be dead going forward because everybody was taking those 2-and-2 deals like LeBron was, where they can opt in for those last 2 years, and everybody was opting out. They ain't getting the offer that no more. And then the rookie scale, the rookie pay scale. Now you get people on these rookie contracts. You ain't re-ing up early like you used to. So now you stuck and the money ain't flowing. Then there was no trade clause. Bradley Beal was the last one with a no trade clause in the NBA. So now they ain't going to control. And with the CBA changing this offseason, the salary cap, you're going to be forced to spend the minimum salary cap. Now these teams can't tank and just save all this money. They have to spend the minimum on players. So I don't think that these big splashes as far as free agency is really going to be happening going forward unless you just after your rookie deal, you decide to go somewhere else. But if you re-up after that rookie deal, you pretty much stuck where you at. And then the way that these contracts are set up, the team that you're on could sign you for 30, 40, 50 million more than if you leave and go somewhere else. So like, damn, now if I leave, I'm going to lose 20, 30, 40, 50 million. That shit is ridiculous. So I don't know, man. That shit, I just think that the NBA and the CBA, after LeBron James took the power and put it with the players, the league is definitely snatching that power back. And we won't be seeing these masterful 30-star free agencies no more. Once these old dudes is out of here, like James Harden and Kyrie Irving and all these dudes, we're going to be seeing role players hitting free agency, and that's it.
Well, I mean, the piggyback on that, Caleb, like, you remember they were talking, or everybody's been hinting about maybe a NBA expansion team in Seattle or in Las Vegas, right? And with Denver winning this last championship after sweeping the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals, right? That was the first team that hadn't won that wasn't from Houston or from LA, right? And it was like this whole big thing with where all the titles are really held right now. The NBA is so boring. You know what I mean? Like it's all about scoring. Like we had how many 50-point games this season? You know what I mean? Like people hit 60-point games. Like somebody had a 70-point game. Like, and I don't know who it was, and I'm probably sure I can think of it fast enough. But right now, it's not relevant because I'm from a generation that we talked about championships, right? That's why we argue and banter back and forth about it the way we do. But now it's not about that. It's about social media followers. It's about like endorsement deals. You know what I mean? Like we're literally looking at the last of a dying breed of basketball where what's to come in the next 5 years? Like LaMelo Ball is actually in the NBA and he's one of the top 10 players, not because of stats, but because of fan base. You know what I mean? And when he was that little kid that he pointed down at the line and pulled that half-court three-pointer, we were like, ain't no way he's going to make it. Like, even though the hype was there, it was just like for me as a coach, I'm like, I don't know. And there's more kids following that than just following the Steph Curry deep three-point shot. So the game is changing. Like, it's changing a lot. And as a Laker fan, I think Denver might end up winning next year.
So you said the 70-point game. I believe the guy that's dropped that 70-point game was my guy Dame Time, our next subject. So Dame Time, man, one of the most prolific scorers in the league, bona fide superstar, with no CJ McCullough, no second star, and no team really around him in Portland. Should he force a trade out of Portland, or should he stay put? They just drafted Scoot Henderson. What do you think Dame should do? Should he try to get with a contender and force his way out of Portland like we've seen Kevin Durant do? Or should he stay put, work with the Portland Trailblazers, and maybe contend for a title within the next 2 to 5 years? What's your thoughts?
Dame, let me kick it off. Dame will never win a championship. He'll never win a championship. I think that Dame, he likes to stick to being a loyalist, and that gives him every excuse not to go after and execute an NBA championship. I'm tired of talking about Dame Lillard, man. I'm tired of talking about him. Yes, he's been in the tough West, but he's also had opportunity. And at this point, he's, like I said, he's looking for any excuse not to win so that he can say that, hey, I stay loyal to an organization. That's it. It's a bunch of malarkey at this point, man.
Dang. I see what Ken's saying on that. It is getting exhausting. I look at it a little bit differently. Dame, he is trying to stick it out with a franchise, not just on being on loyalist, but maybe the nigga comfortable. I mean, maybe he enjoying himself living in Portland. He don't want to uproot his family if he don't have to. Maybe it's more to it than just him trying to claim to be a loyalist to an organization that don't give a shit about him. I think it's more of, I've seen this dude. He has played in it. I think him and Carmelo have similar stories. The West has been tough. Dame has been around for the Golden State Warriors, for the KD and Harden OKC, the Spurs. He's been around for a lot of these powerhouse Western Conference teams, having to face these teams by himself. Everybody makes it a big deal when certain other players ain't got no help, like LeBron or whoever. He don't got no help. Dame has never had help. He has never had a second superstar outside of LaMarcus Aldridge at the tail end of his run when Dame was a baby. But when Dame got to his prime, he ain't never had no second star to help him. And he's gotten to the Western Conference Finals, got swept by Golden State, but by himself. So at this point, he has to decide, is Portland, is the organization going to put the pieces around? Do anyone want to come play in Portland? When did last time we seen a big-time free agent sign in Portland? We haven't seen it. Or can they make trades? Can they trade Scoot Henderson for Paul George? Can they do something like that? If they can't, then you want to win a championship, you got to get the fuck up out of there. It's a new NBA. All these new niggas is winning because they left teams. LeBron leaves every year and wins. Not every year, but he won. He left.
Ronnie,
you hate LeBron, man. You hate LeBron.
No,
he hate LeBron. Don't boy. One thing gonna happen is Yajiketi gonna talk about Derrick Rose, and
it's fact. But it's fact.
Ronnie gonna talk about LeBron every time.
It's facts. It's not like I'm bringing him up out of the blue. He is relevant because he's the star that started this team hopping stuff. Then Kevin Durant followed. Like LeBron started this team hopping stuff for superstars. You know what I'm saying? So why not go ahead and is anyone going to look back and say, look at LeBron or KD's championships and be like, they didn't win. They only won because their team hot. 20 years from now is not going to matter. So, Dame, go ahead and follow and go get on the super team and try to get you a couple rings. Get the fuck up out of Portland. Portland ain't doing shit for you. Shit.
And on the note of Dame, I mean, if Dame is not trash, like anybody on here that would say that they would not have Dame Lillard on their team is smoking. Dame Lillard is still that guy. He still got the skills. Only thing that is stopping Dame is his loyalty to Portland. But that is different than Carmelo in a way, because Dame ain't chasing the money. Carmelo he chased the bag. That's what Carmelo did. He went to go chase the bag. That's what happened to Melo. He didn't stay in Denver. He went to go chase the bag. Okay, cool. He got the bag, and now he's not in the NBA. He retired out of nowhere. But he can't even get back in the league. But with Dame, ain't nobody going to Portland. Ronnie's making a good point when, like, LeBron changed the whole narrative of everything, of everybody getting doing this whole super team thing. Like, if LeBron didn't do that, we'd be sitting here talking about maybe OKC is one of the greatest teams and one of the greatest franchises, because you had James Harden, which is at one point was a superstar. They had Westbrook, and then they had KD. So, like, Dame, he just got to make the decision if he's going to really just go, I'm going to go against everything I've been preaching to everybody. I've been preaching stay loyal to one team, and is he just going to go, you know what? I'm going to a different team.
Can I say one more thing? You know what? I was just sitting here thinking, man, I feel as though if he does actually leave and he doesn't win, I think that kind of hurts his legacy too, though.
Yeah, they do.
I think that
I was just thinking about that. Mm-hmm.
I think the pressure of him having to win, if you leave, it has to be like the best situation. You have to win. Look at the way Kevin Durant is right now, choosing to leave the Warriors, and the Warriors won one without him. Now it's like, if you don't win one in Brooklyn, super failure. Now you in Phoenix with another super team. If you don't win one in Phoenix, now your legacy is tarnished. And now it's like, could you ever win? Did you just go join Steph Curry to get a couple rings? Or was you ever that guy?
But there is speculation that I've seen a couple times of, if Dame was to leave, and I do agree with it, if Dame was to leave, I heard that he going to Miami. Now, if Dame go to Miami's already getting into championships with just Jimmy Butler.
I mean, he has to do it because nowadays people don't really analyze basketball. They listen to commentators and they base their opinion off of,
and they watch highlights.
And they watch highlights. Like, we talking about, I'm gonna touch on. I know we got to move on to the next topic, but let me touch on Melo real quick.
I didn't even get to talk yet. Gosh, you scandalous, bro.
No, my bad. I'm gonna say this real quick. I'm gonna shut up.
Go ahead. I'm not mad. Let's
look at Melo real quick.
Hey, don't shoot on Melo. Don't shoot on Melo.
And don't say nothing about LeBron.
I'm defending Melo.
Don't say nothing about LeBron.
I'm defending Melo.
Okay, I love LeBron because I love Melo. That's my guy.
Look, Melo, he made the playoffs every single year that he was in the West with the Denver Nuggets, right?
Facts.
Who's Melo's best player on the Denver Nuggets? Chauncey Billups.
And then Allen Iverson, but they didn't even go far.
Chauncey Billups is a good player, but he's not a great player. So Melo played in a conference with two of the top 7 players to ever play in Kobe Bryant and Tim Duncan.
He played with Dame too.
Add on Kevin Garnett, add on Dirk Nowitzki, add on Steve Nash, and look at all the great teams he had to battle in the West with no help. So people always want to shit on Carmelo for what he didn't do, but he played in the toughest conference in NBA history, and he didn't have no help in Denver. It was him, and an old Allen Iverson for a couple years, and then Chauncey Billups. And that's it. He ain't never had no super team or no team to compete against the Tim Duncans and the Kobe's and the Dirks and Steve Nash and the Kevin Garnett's. All those guys are the top 20, 25 players that ever play. So we need to stop shitting on Carmelo so much. I mean, he didn't get a fair shake to me. That's all.
That 09 Nuggets team wasn't solid, Alvin?
It was
No,
good.
they did the Western. They went to the Western Conference Finals. That's when they traded Allen Iverson for Chauncey Billups. That's when he ended up with Detroit. They got rid of George Karl, and they were good. I mean,
they lost to the champs.
Like look, no disrespect, right? I'm just as big of a Carmelo fan as Ya is for Derrick Rose. Okay, I don't really accept the whole retirement thing because I feel like he's still capable of putting up buckets and he could be a role player. He could take a vet minimum. You know what I mean? He would play basketball. You feel me? He could even go overseas, but he's not important right now. No disrespect to him. But Dame Lillard has the opportunity right now to be like Carmelo, but at the same time, Carmelo won USA Dream Team, or not Dream Team, but USA basketball gold medals, right? He's considered right now maybe the best or top 2 USA men's basketball players like history-wise, blah, 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 because of his point total, score, point per game, all that stuff. Dame Lillard didn't win a gold medal for USA, did he? And if he did, I'm sorry. But what he's done so far in the game with Portland, I mean, come on. He has the most iconic, or not most, but he has one of the most iconic signature celebrations. You think about the shots that he's made from rookie year all the way to current. You think about even just winning this last 3-point contest in his college uniform. He's loyal. He has his kids. He has his wife. There's nothing that he has to lose if he doesn't leave. And that's something that we all have to accept, that he's more our generation. Like, he's more of us than he is of this new NBA. And if he has the right type of money with all the different endorsements that he has, we don't know who he has as a I mean, we could probably Google and find out who he has as a manager, but we have no idea how he's spent his money, how he's invested his money, what his real net worth is. So maybe he's at the point right now where he knows he's still getting better at the game, but wants a good legacy for his children to look at for how you're supposed to live your life on and off the court. Because if he changes who he is as a person to go and chase a chip and loses, just like Ken said, if he loses after leaving, everything is for shit.
Yeah, there's nothing else to talk about.
I mean, like Dame time. Oh yeah, Dame should have knew what time it was when he decided to leave Portland. He should have stayed there if he was just going to lose. I mean, I could only imagine the piss poor basketball players that are trying to flame his decision to leave Portland to go chase an NBA championship. Where if he stayed in my mind, he's Hall of Fame, hands down, first ballot. Nobody would not vote him first ballot, right? If he leaves and doesn't win, now it's a question. You know what I mean? Now the question mark changes every single inch of his legacy. So if I was him, I stay. I forced him to have to make a huge trophy or a statue of me in front of the arena. My jersey, my jersey will get in the rafters. I'd break every statistical record that the franchise had. And I'd go down as the best Blazer in history, and could be one of the most loyal NBA superstars of all time. Because right now, what else do you have? Like, we're talking about championships like it matters, right? Because we're not in the NBA. Y'all knows I got a lot of little bullshit adult league championships. Ain't nobody give me no respect. My old ass has got a 19 point, 16 rebound, 10 assists, triple-double Sunday in a back-to-back playoff game. Do you guys care? Fuck no, because I'm not in the NBA.
I do.
I love you for that, bro. But, I mean, in retrospect, because I'm not
Did y'all win?
Yeah, we won. Oh, yeah, we won 100-52, then turned around and had to play again and won 56 or 86-85. And I actually played against it. I played on the team that we played against. So I got to talk shit after the game. Like, you see, I got that LeBron factor. Yeah,
what
exactly.
game was that triple-double in? The first one or the second one?
The first one.
So you was
I don't
stat
believe
that.
those stats. I
Huh?
don't believe those stats.
Oh, well, we all,
I don't
hey,
believe
you know what's
those
funny?
stats.
You know what's funny? We all follow each other on Instagram. So if you saw my story, you know it was actually not me saying it. It was actually facts. But I'm only saying that because I'm not in the league. You know what I'm saying? I'm playing my little adult league. I'm trying to do my thing or whatever. But if I was in the league, I'd be Dame Lillard. I'd stay at the team I'm at. I'd force them to pay me the money I want, and I'd sit there and wait. Like, hey, Caleb, would you like to leave Seattle and come over here and play with me in Portland, bro? Even if you don't win, I got some good businesses over here that I got, majority ownership in. We can help you make some money on the other side. And then, there's good schools that the kids go to. It could be a lucrative situation if you came this way. I'm just saying.
I want to see those stats, man.
I'm gonna send it to you. I promise you. I'm gonna send it to you.
I don't believe it.
I promise you. I'm gonna send it to you right now. We got championship Sunday. When we win, I'm gonna post it on Instagram. Big trophy.
Tag me.
Big trophy.
All right. Trying to get assists. He was Russell Westbrook.
I did. No, I actually did it for Melo, and every rebound I said, "Get the fuck out of here!" And every three, I threw up the three. So yeah.
All right, let's get to this NFL, man. So, in July, mostly every team starts their mini camps, their mandatory mini camps, and the NFL selects a team to follow during off-season mini camps up into preseason, and it's called Hard Knocks. Now, we got Odell Beckham going over there with Baltimore. We got the 49ers with their quarterback controversy. We got Aaron Rodgers going over there to the Jets. We got the Bengals losing to the Chiefs, looking like they're the only team on the AFC that can possibly knock off the Chiefs. We got a lot of storylines going on in the NFL this year. So which team do you think has like the best storyline that you would like to see be the star of Hard Knocks? They usually pick a up-and-coming team that's on the cusp of coming from the slums to being a winning or playoff team. What's y'all thoughts on all these NFL moves, and what team would y'all like to see on Hard Knocks this year?
Oh, okay, that's enough time.
I
get to go first. Yeah. Oh, okay. I was about to say, go ahead. All right,
so I go first. I think that I'm a 49er fan, so I'm biased. I think that the 49ers always have the best storyline. But I think the Baltimore Ravens, man, after that Lamar Jackson, everybody said that black man couldn't get his money. Shit, I've said it on this podcast. I didn't think the black man was going to get his money. He got paid, and they got him a slew of receivers, including Odell Beckham over there. So I think that would be a wonderful storyline, showing them gelling, installing their offense and showing little highlights. Odell going to be making hella catches in practice. I think that would be the highest rated team if they were to do it. So my pick would be the Baltimore Ravens.
I think I'm gonna agree with the Baltimore Ravens. I didn't even think about that. That is a solid pick, but I just had two off the top. I want to say the defending champs, the Chiefs. When's the last time somebody won back-to-back Super Bowls? A great quarterback. I don't think Brady won his back-to-back, right? Brady didn't win back-to-back Super Bowls. I think John Elway did in 97, 98, and I can't think of anybody else since then. So Mahomes is an all-time level talent right now at quarterback. Probably arguably the most talented quarterback ever to play. Talented, not greatest, but most talented. And, he's on a good run right now. So I think that'll be a great storyline, seeing the preparation for the defending of the Super Bowl championship from last year. So other than that, I also thought, and I got to get my clown on, but the Raiders, because it's a shit show over there in Vegas. You know what I'm saying? So they need to go ahead and go to Vegas in the Sin City and go watch that shit show over there of the boo-boo ass Raiders. That's always a good storyline to see how garbage they are and to see the horrible preparation they have for their season. The sorry ass Raiders or the champion Chiefs.
Well, thanks. No, it can't be Ken. He threw that assist straight to me. So thanks, Ronnie. I am a Raider fan. I am.
Are you seriously a Raider
No,
fan?
you know what's funny? That's how I know we don't pay attention to each other as much as you think we do. Because I noticed the Seattle Supersonic Gary Payton jersey. You never notice that when I don't wear a Laker hat, it's normally a Raider hat. This one's a Magic hat because it goes with the throwback for the AV Elite jersey, but that's not important right now. The Raiders, though, got your bummy ass Jimmy G as our quarterback. I'm so mad. Like, you have no idea how upset I am over that trash, bro. I thought that they were actually going to bring back Colin Kaepernick. I thought this was the moment that they were going to bring back Colin Kaepernick because he's still better than Jimmy G. All the Niners this and the Niners that man is trash. Why didn't they keep him? I don't know. They wanted to go a different direction, and they put him on my team so that people like Ronnie can make fun of us because loyal fans like myself who just want to see us win in the play. We just want to get to the playoffs and win one game. Okay, because the Raiders are not the Lakers, the Clippers of the NFL.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, we don't do very much. We win regular season games and we wear a lot of cool merch and we tailgate and we talk big shit, but we don't win very often and don't have very many Super Bowls. Yeah. So, you know what I mean? I want to, you know what I mean? Because Caleb, you and I, we're both August 1st, you know what I'm saying? So you know where I'm going with this. I really wanted to not get like Russell Westbrook, you know what I'm saying, on my team as my point guard. Oh, you did. You wanted that. I didn't. So I got Jimmy G, and I'm so upset. Like, but I would love to see. I would love to watch it though. Could you imagine watching it?
Yes.
It would be great. It would be great. It'd be great.
It'd be great. That's Jimmy G. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic. Yeah, 5-star television. I'm telling you.
Who you got, Ken?
You know what, man? I like to see the Aaron Rodgers story unveiled a little bit, man. To be honest with you, I mean, you know what? In some analysts' eyes, I mean, he's revered as one of the best quarterbacks ever. Well, the best quarterback ever. I think I've heard Stephen A. Smith quote him on that. But yeah, man, I like to see whether or not he can turn the Jets around. I like to see that.
I think that the Jets had one of the best offenses and the rookie of the year offensively and the rookie of the year defensively. So they set up, the only thing they were missing really was a quarterback. So they're saying that Aaron Rodgers was the missing piece and that, the Jets should be a major Super Bowl contender now that they shored up the quarterback spot.
Hell, Aaron Rodgers is old as fuck. They be acting like these dudes are still in their prime. Aaron Rodgers ain't about to do shit. He old as fuck. He's not about to do shit over there. Like, they act like this is 2012 Aaron Rodgers. That man is old as dirt.
He just won an MVP 2 years ago.
You know Aaron Rodgers been folding in the playoffs every year. Aaron Rodgers has won. I love Aaron Rodgers' talent, but let's not act like Aaron Rodgers is this big-ass winner. This dude be choking in the playoffs and throwing dumbass interceptions. This dude fold every single year. Like, I ain't buying that bullshit.
No faith in him, huh, Ronnie?
None. Not a little bit.
So what you got, y'all?
Oh, it's my turn? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. First and foremost, we don't need to talk about none of y'all teams. We need to talk about the Seattle Seahawks, because I remember last time I was on this podcast. Dang, this year I have been a fortune teller. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is crazy. The guy that just entertains has been putting game on y'all. But anyways, y'all said that my Seahawks was going to be trash and we weren't going to be anything without Russell. And since it's talking about the underdog story, I mean, we came out and we surprised everybody and we did what the Raiders couldn't do. And we had a quarterback that everybody wrote off, was like, who's Geno Smith? Who is Geno Smith? And Geno Smith put himself in the category of MVP, taking the trash team and doing something with it. On a side note, happy birthday to my boy. That is the defensive coordinator. for the Seattle Seahawks. What up, Deshaun? Happy birthday, bro. Even though I already texted you that. But happy birthday. But Seahawks, that's a Seahawk Nation all day, every day. That's what it is. 12th man, we fly high, balling.
Seahawks is cool.
Seahawks is ass.
Seahawks.
We asked, we better than the Raiders, though.
Nobody will
why
want
you gotta go there?
Nobody will want to. Nobody will want to see the
just state
Seahawks.
the obvious.
We better
We're
than
not
the Raiders.
saying.
At least
We're not
Don't
saying
talk
who the
about
best
the-
though.
Don't
We're
talk
not
about
saying.
the
We got a
Clippers
quarterback.
of the NFL. Don't talk
We
about
got
the
a
Clippers of the
quarterback.
We
NFL.
could beat the Raiders. Us 5 on this podcast can beat the Raiders. That's not an accomplishment being better than the Raiders.
At least we got a quarterback. That's right.
Don't talk about the Clippers of the NFL. It's not fair to me or Kalen.
So
It's a
BET
slap in our face.
BET Awards was just this weekend, man, celebrating 50 years of hip hop, and hip hop is getting more money than ever. We got hip hop billionaires now. We got hip hop multi-millionaires, and a lot of these hip hop heads are flipping hip hop into businesses outside of music that are becoming very lucrative. So you see a lot of these gang members that are making it in hip hop and going legit with their illegal money, and these RICO charges are coming down on them. So we all know Casanova 2 times. He went to jail on the RICO with the Gorilla Squad gang. I don't know exactly the name of the gang, but he went down. They hit him all with the RICO, and now he has been officially sentenced to 15 years in jail. We got the YSL RICO going on. We got YMW Melly on trial right now. Taxtone just got 35 years for the killing with the shooting with Troy Ave. They giving out football numbers. They used to say that back in the day, and now that's something that's like it has made a return. They're giving out football numbers to these rappers specifically to make examples out of them. What are y'all thoughts on Casanova getting his 15 years? And do you think that that's going to make these youngins in hip hop wake up and try to fly legit and stop all the scamming and all the bullshit, because it ends up catching up with you? What's y'all thoughts?
Caleb, before I say what I say, get a definition of a RICO charge real quick.
Let me Google it. I don't know.
So it's basically organized crime and running like
Yeah.
an underground illegal empire, and you finance people. So it's like racketeering, extortion, drugs.
So you're using
prostitution, yeah.
you're using illegal funds to fund legal businesses.
Okay, I thought so. Okay, so that's the reason.
Snowfall.
Power.
I'm not saying that. You know what I'm saying? I'm supporting, the movement of doing this, but I'm not saying that I'm not. That's the fucking American way. Why is it a big deal? Because of the skin color? Half of these fucking billion dollar Fortune 500 companies were fucking brought out on illegal money, drug money, crooked shit, like bullshit corporations. Like they've done this from the beginning of time with all of these businesses. All of these major Fortune 500 companies was built on dirty money. This country was founded on dirty shit. So that's the reason why it hurts me, because it seems like it's okay for them to do this and build this big power of control of this country and build everything the way they can control everything. And use all that bullshit to get all the way up. And now that these dudes, they want to hit them on RICO charges. Like, and then within hip hop itself, I'm a big Jay-Z fan. But Jay-Z, he says all the time how he started his business. Like, it ain't snitching on him. The motherfucker got a bar that says, I came in this motherfucking 100 grand strong, 9 to be a sack from grinding G-Packs. He told you that he started his shit with drug money. No RICO charge for him? By the definition of a RICO charge? So I'm confused as to what is what. Like, it's certain people could get away with this shit, but certain people can't get away with this shit. Like, what's trying to be proven here? And, I'm always going to side with the plight of the black man on all of this shit, because I believe it's always going to be some race shit. That's some unfair shit, because that's the way this country is. So I'm just saying, I want to bring up that point about it, because it looks like, you know, a lot of these companies were started just like that, man. Come on, man. These companies all weren't started from legit fucking money. Come on, dude. Come on, like everybody think about that for a second. Like think about that shit. It wasn't a lot of these companies weren't started from legit funds. It's the American way.
But Ronnie, I mean, I understand that, but look how many lives have been lost in the midst of what's involved inside of a RICO case. You're just looking at it from I would say like the lucrative standpoint and how everybody else has done it, but what about how it's torn down the Black community? There's a bigger picture other than what it's been successfully been able to finance, is what I'm saying.
You're right. But how many, like I said, these Fortune 500 companies and all these old school white-owned companies tore down the Black community too. So I'm not saying it's right, bro. I'm just saying they got away with this shit and weren't punished for it and didn't give anything back for it. But we got to be punished for it. It has to be consistent. Both was wrong. They did the shit and got away with it and still doing the shit to this day. So I don't see how it's wrong for us and not for them. That's all I'm saying.
No, it's definitely wrong for both, Ronnie. But
no one talks about it though. No one talks about them. They only talk about us. No one talks about them.
Ronnie, I'm not denying that, but we can see what the landscape of America was built on. Why would you ever expect the media to export that kind of characteristic? I don't get it.
I don't expect
You're expecting too much, brother.
I'm not expecting it. I'm just bringing up the point since we're on the subject. I don't expect them to do shit. I already know what Malcolm X said. Never expect the national media to portray us. Right? I already know. I'm just saying. I'm just bringing it up as a point. That's to show like just because we can't expect nothing don't mean we should point it out and try to wake more people up, see what's going on. Because a lot of people are asleep. A lot of people don't even care. So I'm gonna talk about it every chance I get because it's important. We can never progress if everybody don't start talking about it and get on the same page.
Let me ask you one more question, Ronnie. Let me ask you one more question.
Yeah.
I like this dialogue between you and I. At what point do we assume and protect responsibility for our actions without looking at the white man? At what point?
Okay, I'm gonna say never, because you got it's like a tree. In order to pull a tree out and successfully pull a plant out or a weed out, you can't just cut the top off of it. You got to pull it from the root. If you don't pull it from the root, it's gonna grow back. So we can't put band-aids and try to stamp some shit that has already been fucked up. This has been a generational trauma that Black people have faced. People say, oh, there's been other oppressed groups. Yes, there has. But every oppressed group has been hit with reparations and a chance to repair and replenish their culture. But us, we haven't had that. 400 years of slavery to segregation and what happened during slavery. People just talk about slavery. Let's talk about what happened during slavery. Women had to see their husbands get beat and killed. Their children fed to alligators.
So, Ronnie,
men had to see.
So no present day. Let me interject.
Huh?
Let me interject real quick. So basically, we're not to assume any present day responsibility is what I'm hearing.
It's hard to. It's hard
present
to.
day.
I mean, because okay. I'm gonna tell you why I say that. Let's just keep it real. A number of our people is far gone. The conversation we having right now, it's a lot of people that see this and be like, that nigga need to shut his dumb ass up, shut the fuck up. Like, a lot of people ain't trying to hear this shit. So I'm saying a lot of us are too far gone because of them. I don't think it's as much that can be done because we don't have enough that are on the same page. But that don't mean I'm not gonna stop trying. I'm never gonna stop trying. But I think we're all too far gone because of them. I'm always gonna point to them and what they did to us.
To answer Caleb's question when he said pretty much what they learned, no, they're not going to learn based upon it's fast money. And in the world and the system that we are created is everybody's trying to get a fast dollar. So when you're trying to get that fast dollar, you do things that are sometimes illegal. I mean, this country was built on illegal stuff. I mean, we're all in California. At one point of time, California was not called California. California was called Mexico. It was Mexico. It should still be Mexico. but we came in, took it, right? And now it's ours. And doesn't the government don't we pay taxes? So the government came in, stole land, right? They came in, stole the land, and now they tax us on the land that they stole. Okay, cool. We're like that. Okay, that's a big RICO, if you ask me. But who's asking me?
Oh my God.
At the end of the day,
Oh man.
we demonize rappers and what they are doing. They're only doing what they know. And in the case of with it all, okay, cool. Their consequences is that they're getting their years or whatever. But why is their years so much? 15 years? 15 years? But then what about sex trafficking, right? That's a big business that a lot of these celebrities are in, and they got their own little islands, right? I'm just saying.
Speaking of that, they said that the submarine, Titanic submarine thing was just a news cover up because there was like 400 something Jeffrey Epstein emails that were recovered, and over the weekend, while everybody was worried about the submarine, these emails magically were deleted, ceased to exist. No one's talking about that though.
Oh wait,
we're talking about the
sex
sub.
trafficking. Nobody wants to talk about it. So laugh if you want to, but your boy, I've been right about some things.
Hey, to piggyback on that, it's also ironic that you're making the same artists who sign contracts to labels to follow the rules that they set in place for them. They are probably doing what's within the contract. Like, let's just think about the lyrics in general. Someone approves the content of every artist before they publish the tracks, before the masses see them, right? Or the masses hear them. Why would you punish someone that you already know said what they said before it even came out? Shouldn't the AR get punished? Shouldn't the production company get punished? Shouldn't the market, shouldn't a lot of lives, like Ken was saying earlier, shouldn't there be more people affected by this RICO case than just the artist who's saying the lyrics, and I hate to say it because
that's getting the money from the label.
Right. It's literally the target audience isn't even us. We're not the target audience for these artists. It's the suburban little white boys. You know what I mean? The little white girls, the ones who don't know the streets, who've never been to the streets, who are curious, who bite their nails and going, "Oh, I wonder if I went there, would I get shot? Is there really drive-bys all the time?" Like, all the content they hear, they want to see it for themselves, but they can't. So there's your audience getting what they want, and then you punish the person who's giving them what they want so that way they don't actually do the crime. It's not for us. We're just the pawns in the game. And we're just not thinking about what we're doing as we're doing it. We're signing contracts with, for a dollar amount and then doing what we're told to do and not knowing that there's consequences behind every action. And like y'all said,
I agree.
And like y'all said, it's like, the things that happen with children all across America is more or less hidden behind some of the things that we're seeing within the music. And Ronnie's not wrong neither. We were set up to fail from the beginning, but it's up to us to make better decisions, regardless if we're not, regardless where we are. We have to look at the long run. If you're going to give me $100,000, you're going to give me $1 million. What all am I really going to have to deal with? And is there a way for me to get a big homie like Ronnie to come with me into these meetings, so that way we could really sit down and hash out all the logistics? Because I don't know them personally. I don't have that degree. I don't have that intelligence, and I need help. So if I can put you on, if I can get on, I'm gonna put you on. So help me help us. You know what I mean?
But correct me if I'm wrong, Caleb. Let's say you do it that way, Mayor, right? I think Caleb said in the beginning he got in trouble with what was it, Gorilla
Yeah.
Gang or whatever.
Mhm.
So what's going
Because
on?
What if
he was
wasn't
guilty by
what if he
association.
wasn't
No.
what if he was guilty by association?
So what's going on? If you just paid attention to what happened with Little Bootsy, Little Bootsy got caught on an Instagram live with a gun in his waistband, but then they pulled him over, and his homeboy took the gun charge. But then the feds were able to prove that the gun was his because they can show him on Instagram putting the gun in his waistband. Then Bootsy goes and does an interview, and in the interview, the interviewer asks him, "So what happens if you got a gun on you and you get pulled over and something happens?" And Bootsy says in the interview, "One of my homies gonna take that charge from me. That's his gun." So they're incriminating themselves on Instagram Lives, and they're incriminating themselves in interviews, and this is being used to take them down in court. Casanova was famous for going on Vlad TV, going on No Jumper, going on these different platforms, telling all these war stories about how he's a guerrilla gangster and this is the gang he did, and telling jail stories about how he was running the yard and he was the big nigga in jail. He's telling all these stories, these war stories, but at the same time incriminating himself as a gangster. And then
So they dry snitching on themselves.
And then a couple weeks before this, the sentencing, he said that he distanced himself from the gang and he's no longer a member of the gang. This is what he tells the judge. And then 2 days after he disannounced the gang, he gets stabbed up in jail. So now you still get hit with the 15 years, and now you denounce the gang. Yep. So now you're gonna do 15 years PC.
And then when you get out on the streets, you can't rap about the same stuff that you was rapping about prior because you PC'd up. It's a vicious cycle, man.
That sounds like
you spent all your money on lawyer fees, so now you don't even got no money to get out to.
So
that sounds like a setup.
Why would Vlad and all these No Jumper? Why would they ask them all these questions? Like, shouldn't they be held? Like, why would they do that shit? Like, why would you have an interview about him? Wouldn't you cut him?
Why wouldn't you?
But Ronnie, who's in control? No, it's not even about the journalism. It's not even about the journalism. You know where I'm going with it. It's about who's in control of the entire mainstream media, from the artists to what we see in advertisements to what we see with the sports. Everything is strategically programmed for us to follow what we're supposed to see. So I mean, like us right now, we're freely talking about whatever we want because we're on PolitiKan, because Kalen put us on and this great platform to say
what Ronnie is saying.
We don't have any contracts to not have to say certain things.
When Jay-Z gets on those same platforms, they don't ask him those questions.
No, because but he doesn't. Jay-Z doesn't do that.
Let me chime
Look at
in
the
on
one
that.
Jay-Z and Kevin Hart did together. When he hit certain subjects, it went left.
Let me chime in on that. So I absolutely agree with Ronnie because I do interviews. Ronnie does interviews. Ken does interviews. I met both you, and Alvin interviewing you guys.
Yes, sir.
You guys do you do the monumental people. So you do interviews. So we know that it's all about how you curate your own content. And we choose to be a platform and choose to be journalists and people of integrity where we stay away from those subjects. Even if that's what the artists want to talk about, if that's what they want to do, we let them know from the get-go, we're not the platform to do that. And that we're not going to allow you to come on our platforms and do that. And we're not going to ask them type of questions. So though that is the popular thing to do, at some point, the people with these outlets have to have some type of integrity, whether the artist does or not, and have some type of responsibility. And that's why me and Ken talk about this all the time. We hate the word media because before it was journalism, and journalism is held to a certain standard. Now journalism is done by rappers and motherfuckers that don't give a fuck. So just because they think that they Googled something that they can ask, they felt like they've done some homework. And it's ruining the game because now you can say something and then with no research, somebody can just run with that as fact. And if you say it and 100,000 people believe it, then that's it. It doesn't have to be real. To the people, it's real.
Right.
You know what?
They are
Can I
not
say
asking
something?
Jay-Z
Oh.
the same questions.
Go ahead,
You know
Ken.
what? You know what's
Facts.
interesting is I think a lot of people don't understand, and they give Vlad a ding, but Vlad is actually an investigative journalist. So those questions that he asks, I mean, they follow suit. He's supposed to ask those type of questions. It's not necessarily on the interview platform because artists, they have the autonomy to go on there. They have even more autonomy not to answer certain questions. And look, an artist, they can request for the interviewer not to ask them certain questions, man. So I don't think we should always blame it on the platform because no one's putting a gun up to these artists' head and telling them to go on these platforms.
But
That's
nobody
all I'm
blames
saying.
it on the platform. That's what
No,
we're
sure
saying.
they do.
Nobody
All right,
blames
wait.
it on the platform.
Hold on,
That's
wait.
like cracking.
Yeah, they do.
Hold on.
They
Let me
blame
finish.
they blame
Hold
Vlad
on.
for sure.
Obviously they do, or else I wouldn't have brought up Vlad. There's no jumper in Adam 22. Of course they blame it on the platforms. What are you talking about?
I agree.
No.
They definitely give Vlad. They say Vlad the feds. That's
Yeah.
the number one thing. They say Vlad the feds. Don't go on Vlad if you're a rapper that's doing something because they're gonna use the Vlad interview to get you. So
But you can go on Vlad though. You can go
You
on Vlad. You
can.
can just decline certain questions.
Uh-huh.
It's not that hard.
It's
I
your
don't
choice
understand
to answer. You're choosing
Exactly.
to incriminate yourself.
But it's your choice
Yeah.
to ask the question as well.
Yes,
Exactly.
but you don't control the answer.
You don't dictate. You don't control the interviewer. What are you talking about? You don't
That's just
dictate.
like,
Yes,
The questions are already preset.
You do control when you're interviewing somebody. You do, well, at least when I do, you do control in the aspect of how you want the interview to go.
Yeah,
now
but
they can
like
fly off their handle,
That's not-
so you have the choice as well not to ask a certain
Yeah.
question.
But even
You're
if
not
you choose
asking
to-
Jay-Z the same questions that you're asking.
But Jay-Z's an anomaly. We can't use him as a.
Yeah,
Okay,
He's an
there's-
anomaly.
why is he
Yeah.
an anomaly?
There's always
Obviously-
an
hold on, Caleb.
Okay.
hold on.
If
You're not asking them the same question.
If you're asking me how come he's an anomaly, you wouldn't be bringing him up as Jay-Z.
You
Obviously,
wouldn't
you're not
know.
gonna ask
I'm saying,
Jay-Z
okay,
certain things.
you're not asking J. Cole the same questions that you're asking Meek Mills, right? You're gonna talk a little more street when it comes to Meek Mills. So
But you can use
as
that
the
for
interviewer,
anybody. No, you're
as
not
the
going to ask
interview, you
anybody
change
the
up.
same question.
Okay.
You're not going to ask anybody the
okay.
same. All right, let's get to this last topic. Go ahead, last thoughts, Ronnie, before we move on.
All right, yeah. I as an interviewer myself, each interview I conducted, like Caleb said earlier about the integrity thing, I always ask each and every person I interview, is there something that you would prefer me not to ask you? And I give them opportunity. So yes, I at least I will respect they don't want to talk about nothing. I'm not going to bring up nothing to incriminate nobody, but I'm just saying, like, I always make them think about that. Like, look, is anything on here going to get you in trouble, whether it's me asking about women and you got a wife, like shit like that. Like I want to definitely make sure I try to give niggas the respect of what they want to talk about.
Mm-hmm. For sure. So let's get to this last topic, man. So the House of Representatives, it is majority ran by the Republicans. The Republicans have the House, the Democrats have the Senate. So as you remember, when Trump was in office, it was opposite. The Democrats had the House and the Republicans had the Senate. Well, they're doing the same thing that the Democrats did to Trump. Now they're doing it to Biden. A vote of 209 Republicans voted all yes for impeachment articles versus against Joe Biden, while all 206 Democrats, not one voted in favor. But because they had 3 more seats majority, they pushed through articles of impeachment for Joe Biden. So they did it in the House 2 times for Trump, and now it's like going tit for tat, and the Republicans are returning the favor, and they have pushed impeachment articles. So it is a dispute about the border. Basically, Article 42 closed the border. That's why Trump was talking about building the wall. That's why he was you heard about the kids being separated from their parents. That was a tactic that was being used under Article 42 to discourage people from coming over the border and crossing illegally. Well, Biden got rid of Article 42, and ever since then, people have been coming over like nothing. They're just walking over the border. There's really nothing to stop them, and it's been a major problem in California. It's been a major problem in Texas. It's been a major problem in any state that's been bordering Mexico. So, what are y'all thoughts on this articles of impeachment as they're literally going tit for tat? And now the Republicans are doing the same bullshit that the House did. I mean, that the Democrats did to Trump. We seen Trump get impeached twice. Once it hit the Senate floor, they didn't even consider it. And that's exactly what's going to happen with this. Once it hits the Democratic Senate, they're not even going to look at it. What's your thoughts? Who gonna go?
Well, at least they trying to keep that same energy. I mean, I've been saying it from the beginning when Smoking Joe got in. Like, it's cool and all. We all got Trump out, but now are we keeping the same energy that we did with Trump? When Trump did something wrong, we were all on his neck. Like, oh, get that nigga out of here. Like, oh my gosh. Right? And then when Biden hasn't done not a damn thing, oh wait, he's trying to take away your ability to he wants to be able to record you anytime he wants to and be able to get into your phone anytime he want to, but nobody's talking about that. Right? So now let's keep the same energy. Like, if you're gonna do one thing to one president and be on his neck, be on the other president's neck as well. Ain't nobody coming out that voted for Joe. Ain't nobody saying, damn, I messed up. Oh, shoot, I shouldn't have voted. This dude falling off, falling down, don't know where he's at, can't give a speech. Like, this dude don't talk to nobody. He say, hey, if you ain't black if you don't vote for me. And he got black people to vote for you and vote for him, and he hasn't done a damn thing for us. I'm still waiting for my check, Joe. You didn't give me my full unemployment when I was unemployed. You only gave me a couple months. You supposed to, anyway, Joe. But I like it. Keep the same energy. That's all I'm saying. Just keep the same energy.
I think it's ironic, personally, that I learned this from Caleb. Democratic or Republican, there's really not, two different parties. It's all one party. We're one United States, right? And there's only one real power that's controlling us all, and it's not either of those two parties, right? So let's impeach Biden. Let's impeach Trump. Let's create a little bit of havoc right before the election, right before the very next election in what, 6 months? Less than 6 months now? All these good petitions I've been noticing, like a lot of older people. I don't know if you guys see it in your communities, but in my community, we have older people that sit in front of Walmarts and Vons and stores like that. And they ask you if you want to sign petitions about the different policies that's going to be put on the next ballot for you to vote on and everything. And everybody, oh, no, thanks. No, thanks. I don't want to read about it. I don't want to sign anything because no one cares. The general public doesn't care. The people who are trying to impeach are what? More politicians who are wanting just to do what? Create more narrative on television or on social media so that we all create what? More havoc and anxiety about what's to come next because we have no faith in anything at all, especially not in humanity. So what's the real point? Oh, he's going to get impeached. Oh, it didn't happen. Why? I don't even know any of the politics. Like, I don't know the rules. I don't even know how that works. So when you try to impeach someone, it doesn't just happen. It goes to the board or it goes to the floor. Where does it go again, Caleb? Like, you know what I mean? Like, think about it. People don't know the truth, nor do they care to know the truth. So this is all just what? Smoke and mirrors by who? Yaji Kennedy?
Smoking Joe.
I think both guys made some fine points, but I like as far as how this whole political game is, it's really just a game because it doesn't matter who the president is. Like, no one's bothered that there's been over 50 presidents in There's been one black president. There's been no Mexican presidents. There's been no Asian presidents. It's been nothing but old white men. Every time. Let me think about that. Nothing but old white men every single time. The House and the Senate are full of who?
Old white men.
White men. Correct or incorrect? Correct.
Correct.
These guys are the same guys that are from the segregation era. You mean to tell me they have this change of heart within and they want everything to be fair and equal? No. None of these motherfuckers care about black people. So I don't care what happens to Joe, Trump, any of them, because at the end of the day, they're the face of the country, but we all know who controls it. Old white men. That's from that era. And when they die off, they stay in these positions so long so they can maintain control. Then they groom their seeds up to be the same thing and continue the shit. So what I'm saying is, ain't none of it for us anyway. So go ahead, impeach Biden. I don't give a fuck. I don't really care if it's Trump or Biden. Ain't none of it for us anyway. And that's the truth. Like, people want to not see the truth and look at it a little deeper than what it is. That's what it is. The House and the Senate and all the Supreme Court, all the top players in this country are old white men. Mm-hmm. And they've never loved us like that. And what makes you think they do now? I'm just saying.
Yeah, man. I guess we all share the same sentiments. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't think, when it comes to politics, I don't think that politics is a black man's wheelhouse. I believe politics are a conversation between two Caucasian men, because we don't have any control. We don't control anything. And like Ronnie said, Alvin said, to piggyback off what Alvin said, a lot of us aren't even abreast to the knowledge of just the simple concept of how government is ran and Congress and Senate and things of that nature. So, man, things like this, man, this is probably another minor distraction for something else that's going on to a bigger picture. It holds no credence to me, basically.
I agree with that 110%, and that is exactly why we bring up these topics, and this is exactly why this platform exists here, so that we can try to help educate and we can put it in terms that our people can understand. So essentially, there's three branches of the government. So if the president is one, then you can't impeach themselves. So two branches of the government have to agree to impeach one. There's the House, there's the Senate, and then there's the president. Because the House has already passed their impeachment, if it passes in the Senate, then two of the three can actually happen, and you can actually impeach the president, which is bring them under, it's like they're taking them to jail. It's bringing them under charges for breaking the law as the president. So without it, with the House, there's a majority. So whoever has more seats has the majority. And because the veto, if you have three more people like the Republicans did in the House, then even if all 206 Democrats vote no, because there's 209 seats in Republicans inside the House, they got three more votes than the Democrats. So it passes. The majority wins. But then when it gets to the Senate, the Democrats have the majority. So even if every Republican votes yes on it, every Democrat is going to vote no, and it's going to get shot down in the next step. So it is all semantics. It is all smoke and mirrors. It is all bullshit, because nobody is talking about the money. Nobody is talking about what really fucking matters, the inflation, the fact that we have lab-grown meat now.
Man.
They just okay, lab-grown meat. It's all this shit that the government is doing, and they're covering it up with bullshit-ass semantics and bullshit that really ultimately doesn't matter. Just like Ken said, he hit it on the head. It don't matter. Mayor said the same shit. It is all one government. It is the United States. And ultimately, they're basically just arguing about how to do the same shit. Some people want to put their pepperoni on the pizza before the cheese and put the cheese on the top. And the Democrats want to put the cheese down and then put the pepperoni on top. It's still a fucking pizza. It's the same shit. And that's what they arguing over. And they're making it seem like it's a big deal, when the only thing that really fucking matters is the money.
Facts. 100.
All right, let's get some shout outs before we get up out of here.
Shout out to everybody that continue to tune in and watch us, live and recordings and everything. We always gonna come with the shit on here. You know what I mean? So shout out to Caleb, you know what I'm saying, the moderator and the podcast. Shout out to everybody that came on tonight. Mayor, Ken, miss y'all niggas. Y'all for sure. Everybody that fuck with us, man. Going forward, we got a lot of shit cracking. Like, subscribe, and share, and also tune in. We got Media Day coming up, in August, late August 26th. So tap in. You want to hear anything about any details about Media Day, tap in with us.
Shout out to everybody. Always, once again, great and excellent dialogue. Topics that I feel like brings out the best in all of us. Shout out to Yaji Kedit. Shout out to Alvin. Shout out to Ronnie. And most importantly, shout out to Mr. PolitiKan himself. Follow me at CanChroniclesMedia.com for the latest and greatest media, especially in the MMA. So thanks for having me, fellas. Appreciate it.
Hey, man, I wanted to shout out to you guys because I have missed you brothers, man. It's been a long 2023. I feel like that mindset of giving your best every single day and not caring about what's happened the day before has really been my mantra. And I've just been, 10 toes down, head down, just really trying to get it. So to be back with you guys, this is like therapeutic. It's free space to just be myself, to bounce ideas off you guys indirectly. So just really grateful for you guys. So I'm shouting you guys out. And then also shouting out all the kids that just continue to inspire me every day to not give up on the dream and the goal, which is to be the best that I can be. So love you guys. No homo. For the kids, because they don't understand grown men actually having genuine love for each other.
That's real, man. I love each and last single one of y'all gentlemen on this show, man. The growth that we've all had individually and together, is because, iron sharpens iron. And one thing that we do is we motivate each other, we keep each other on our toes, and we share information. That's the biggest thing. We share information, we share resources, and we don't gatekeep, man. The days of the gatekeepers is over. Make sure y'all check out all our content on the PolitiKan forum, man. Check out our blog. Make sure you listen to this episode and all of our podcasts on PolitiKan Radio on all DSPs. We on Pandora, Spotify, what is that? Apple Music. We on everything, man. But I don't know. I got like a jolt of energy in me. I'm more motivated than ever. I feel like, I'm coming into my own, and a lot of times I feel overwhelmed, but that feeling, lets me know that I'm on the right path. And every time I have a conversation with somebody, it's hard for them. I think it's hard for me to accept my own success because I'm always thinking about where I want to be instead of where I'm going. But one thing about me is I don't know what you're going to do with your life, but I'm going to get to it, man. PolitiKan the podcast. We out.
Stop me! You're gonna have to fucking kill me!
Smoking Dank Sinatra, that's all gas. On the hunt in the tall grass. Intercepting every ball pass, then I run it back, that's a TD. Check the scoreboard, y'all last. We up one, you see me. Pussy niggas wanna talk about it, go to Hellcat, no demon. I be politicking on your broadcast at the red carpet like the famous homie. Ask your bitch, really famous homie, and it's in me. It ain't on me. So creative like I made Adobe. I've been balling like I play with